All right, guys, look. I know the deal. You know the deal. I got the date wrong yesterday. Everyone heard it. I know today is October 52nd, 2027. We're going to be okay. In other news, we are going to talk about a UFO over Donald Trump in Tokyo. We're also going to talk about aliens spying on nuclear sites. We've heard about that before. Now there's new supposed proof about it. And maybe we'll get into Canadians believing in the paranormal more than others. Is that surprising? Maybe not so much to me. This is Inverted World Live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Inverted World Live, and I'm your host, Shane Cashman. In about 30 minutes, we're going to get to phone calls. If you want to call in, you can click that link that'll be pinned in the chat on YouTube and Rumble. If you have a story you want to tell us, you know, it is spooky season. The leaves are falling here in West Virginia. Perhaps they've changed colors and are falling by you. And like I've said the other day, there are skeletons everywhere. Everywhere I go, it's this new thing in West Virginia. People are strapping skeletons, I think they're fake, to their trucks, and they are everywhere. It's very alarming to my children. But if you have a fun story, spooky story, dark story, mysterious story you want to share with us, give us a call, or you can talk about something we've discussed in the first part of this show. Maybe you want to talk about Japan and UFOs, or the scariest thing of all, Canadians. We'd love to hear about that too. So we'll get to those calls soon, and we'll be here till midnight. I am, of course, joined by Brandon. What's up, dude?
What's up, Shane? What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is spooky week, and we are just a couple days away from Halloween. I must admit I had a skeleton riding around in my passenger seat today, so I am one of the things that is scaring Shane's children, so I apologize for that, but at the same time, sorry, not sorry, because I fucking love it. So let's get weird without further ado. Shane.
We're going to have a fun episode tomorrow. I got 2 guests definitely confirmed. A third, she says yes, but it's not 100% yet, but we'll see. We also want to hear from you guys. We want to get as many phone calls as we can. The guests will be here for anywhere between like 20 to 30 minutes each. So I want to leave room for stories from every one of you as much as possible. Son of Nothing, I see you in the chat. He says Shango. That's hilarious. That is a nickname from my old days. I used to go to parties. I never really liked going to parties. I'm a recluse. And I'd go to these parties and I would disappear and they would say, "Where did Shane go?" Which turned into Shango. Hello, everyone from Timcast IRL. Thank you so much for joining us. We're about to talk about Donald Trump, Tokyo, and a UFO, and the spooky people, also known as Canadians. So let's get to this first story of the night, which is in Tokyo. Shall we? Was there a video attached to this?
Not that I'm seeing. It looks like there is.
Is it a tweet? If you can pull up the tweet.
It's a Fox newscast, I think, that's attached to it. I haven't vetted it to see exactly what's in it.
I think it's just people, the cameraman. If we can pull it up, it's the cameraman, should be, unless they've switched it on me, the cameraman like cutting the feed as they see a mysterious object in the sky. Yeah,
this looks like this was a live feed at about 6 p.m. or so in Tokyo.
Yep.
And they were live on air talking to a guest with a view of the sky. And I think this might actually pop on X. So
the United States.
No, that's a video. So yeah, we can blow that up and watch that if you want to.
Yeah, we'll show the people what everyone's talking about, and then we'll get into the story.
Cool.
Mysterious object spotted during Trump's Japan visit. Viral clips bring speculation and debate over UFO drones and airplanes. So much drone news in the past year. Is it working for you?
The video?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just down here.
Let's do it.
Yeah, bring it up. Let's see.
Has much more leverage over China than China has over us. And yes, you know, a lot of Americans have talked about rare earth dependence.
Ah.
Okay. All right.
That's a pretty clear freeze frame.
Yeah.
I'm going to pause it right on there if they do that again. This might be the clearest, legitimate camera footage of a UAP. But also, green and red lights. This is a drone.
Vova Dog 9298 says it's a plane landing. Do they have planes in Japan?
I'm pretty sure they probably have to.
No.
But
they're outlawed.
I don't see this being a plane. The lights, I feel like the lights would be a hell of a lot brighter. And I don't see the green and the red signatures on the wingtips like this. They're usually kind of flashing.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Maybe it is. You know, maybe it's Shane's favorite company, Boeing, at it again.
If it were Boeing, it wouldn't be in the sky, Brandon.
Oh, nice.
It would be a door falling off of it.
Touche, salesman.
Is it blinking in the video at all?
It doesn't appear to be. Let's bring it back a little bit here because I want to get the. It really just appears to be kind of almost hovering, but it's hard to tell with the movement of the camera. I gotta tone down this insane music here.
Yeah. It's convincing.
It's like
now.
triumphant or something.
Yeah.
We've made it. See, like the way that structure is, it doesn't exactly scream plane to me.
It doesn't.
It really looks more like a drone, in my opinion. But that's just me. Let us know what you guys think, obviously, in chat. But I think I'm calling drone on this one.
I think most people in the chat are thinking it's drone or plane, or aliens. Let's see what this article says it is. As U.S. President Donald Trump touched down in Tokyo on October 27th, 2025 for his visit to Japan, social media lit up with claims of a mysterious flying object appearing on a Fox News live broadcast of his arrival. That was one sentence. The video, which has since circulated widely on X, shows what some viewers describe as a large, strange object hovering in the night sky, aka drone or plane, but it is a weird shape, more of a drone shape, I guess, as the cameras awaited the president's appearance. The video clip showed the Fox News caption of the coverage, which reads, "Now Trump lands in Tokyo ahead of business reception." And it's giving me a picture of Jeff Bezos. I don't want that. I'm not.
It's Jeff Bezos trying to get to space again.
Yeah.
You damned fool.
Was it Bezos whose grandfather helped start DARPA? That's for another day.
I have no idea.
I believe that's the case. All these people are created in labs, guys. You know it. I know it. They're all created in labs. The internet, Bezos, Elon. Anyway, the clip was first shared by Abbott Eddie 5270, an ex-user who identifies as a military intelligence analyst with over 3,000 followers. The post reads, "Just happened in Japan. Camera notices a large, strange object hovering in the night sky as they wait for the president." You guys saw it. What are you guys thinking? The video shows flashing blue, green, white, and red lights appearing briefly above Tokyo. Now, did we actually see flashing?
During the live shot, no. And I'll run this video back here while you're talking about it.
Yeah, because they might have just added the word flashing to this. The viral post further asserts that the sighting could not have been a drone, stating, "Not a drone, as policies dictate that nothing can pose a lethal threat to the president of the United States, can't be flown in or around the president or his whereabouts without special access being granted."
Yeah, about that.
No flashing, right?
I don't see flashing.
Also, maybe it's one of our drones, like protecting them. Maybe they've learned their lesson, because in Butler, they refused to use drones to check it before everything.
You don't think they would have had to have pulled some kind of clearance with them over there for us to have flown a drone, an American drone, in their airspace?
For protection for the president? I feel like that's possible.
Absolutely.
With the security detail,
but
it could be that, but it's not flashing.
If that were the case, everybody wouldn't be in such an uproar about it. It would be like drone flies over Trump, American drone, as protection.
True.
I mean, unless they're trying to cover up the fact that they're doing it so people don't say, "Oh, hey, let's take out the Trump drone," or some dumbass shit like that. But I mean, I don't know. It's the downward facing lights that have me. Now, planes lights, if you know them, are usually kind of facing forward.
Yeah.
Planes are moving at excess speeds of 300 to 500 plus miles an hour usually, and they want to see in front of them, not underneath them. That does nothing for them. Yep. Sure, there's going to be some ground lights and some stuff like that, but for the most part, their lights are going to be facing predominantly forward. these appear to be glowing downward. In a drone, when a drone lands, the lights are more prevalent to be facing toward the ground so that you can see the landing area of the drone for takeoffs and landings, obviously. So I'm still saying that this is a drone. I just don't understand why they would want to be like, oh, well, it can't be a drone. All right, well, what the hell is it then?
Yeah. According to the Post, a temporary no-fly zone is typically imposed around the U.S. president's location, with local authorities coordinating airspace lockdowns extending 10 to 30 nautical miles, depending on the threat level. Mind you, the president's friend Shinzo Abe was assassinated a few years ago. That was insane. I mean, these threats are everywhere in terms of people wanting to shoot these politicians like they did Shinzo Abe. And that guy, I think he like created a weird gun, if I remember correctly. That was insane. And we've also been going over all these drone threats that have shut down military bases in Europe. We've had our drone problem here for a year. You know, how could you forget December of last year when New Jersey was invaded by drones or just some airplanes? I think it was a mixture of everything. Personal drones, Palantir drones, and airplanes, and who knows what else. There were people trying to tell us it was an Iranian mothership just off of the coast, floating all these drones over our airspace. No one knows. Trump and Tulsi have both said they know but need to know more, but we don't know. Many users appeared convinced that the lights captured on the Fox News feed were not conventional aircraft, like Brandon's saying. An account humorously written said, "Red on one wing, green on the other, and white in the middle. Has to be aliens." Has to. I don't know about that much.
Come on.
Could have been funnier. Others joined the speculation, with one user joking Trump will make a deal with the aliens. That I believe. Whether they're real aliens or fake aliens created in a lab out in Area 51 by Skunkworks, Trump, he's the guy to make a deal with them. Other people are saying, like a lot of people in the chat, it's just a plane or building lights.
Building lights.
As if we can't see the bottom.
All right, let's
do it
walk
again.
it back again.
Let's do it again.
For the people that think that this is
We
a
have
building,
seen videos before where people think it's a UFO, but
Now,
there's clouds beneath the building.
look
beneath the lights.
around. We've got several buildings in the background here with their lights. Their lights are going to at a certain altitude, depending on fly zone or near airports or whatever. A certain altitude, you are required to have blinkers or solid lights that signal to pilots that you are at the top of a standing structure and you do not want to come any closer to those lights. You want to stay a certain altitude above them or risk hitting a building. As you see this unfold here, even with a building out to the right with lights there, and even some like floating light directly underneath there's a dot kind of, and that, in my opinion, may be a plane. If it's not a star or something along those lines, super bright. But that one, I would say, is probably a plane, judging off its appearance.
Yeah.
This is not. I mean, this is just flat out not a plane. It's not a building. You know, it's not a moon. It's not a space station. You know, this is a drone, guys. I mean, come on.
Realms Walker 85. I'm going to read both of your comments, but I'm going to read them in the reverse order you wrote them. He says, "Let's be real. Jewish space laser." Now that's, a callback to last night. I think that might be
I think Shane wants to borrow that.
I think that's
We should
it.
get in touch with them.
I think that's it. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because I don't think it's a drone with the light. I don't know. It's weird. I don't think it's a UFO either. Technically, I guess it is a UFO. But I don't know. Or as AirRaiser X3986 says, it could be fake. But it'd be hard to fake. Okay, well, it's two different fakes here. This is a live feed with a cameraman. So if it's fake, it would have to have been projected into the sky or something. It wouldn't have been superimposed later. Like this wasn't happening in post. So, but it doesn't look like a projection, but who knows? They've got plasma and stuff. Anything's possible.
I mean, are we worried that Janine Pirro and Fox and Friends are now trying to start a UFO conspiracy here in Tokyo?
It's only a matter of time.
During
honestly.
breaking news, oh, hey, let's flash this and get everybody in an uproar. I mean, come on. I don't think this thing came from space. We've got a lot of eyes on space right now, guys, with the whole 3-Eye Atlas thing.
Yep.
There's a lot of people watching the skies right now. I think if something were to come into our atmosphere, especially near the area of the American president and even Tokyo, I'm telling you, these guys are watching too. They would have seen it a long time before it came in. I mean, it didn't pull light speed directly into this area and just pop there for no reason.
Sean Haggard says Secret Service drone. That is kind of how I feel, but I wish you could just find, it's going to be impossible to find a Secret Service drone photo or video at night. You can find photos of them in the day, but who knows?
There are already a lot of people out there, these rich people, that have these personal one-manned aircrafts that look like this. Now, I'm sure there's regulation for these guys to be using these things, especially in airspace or whatever. But what are the odds some rich asshole has a drone and just decided, I'm going to take it up for a flight during the president's visit and blah, 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 and make a stink about it, you know? Like, maybe he didn't get air clearance to do this. Maybe they don't know it was him. Maybe he wasn't tracked. I don't know. They're not offering a lot of answers here. But I'm still sticking with drone on this.
Can you do me a favor? Can you Google this image? This is later in the article. Someone else says it might be Skytree. So Google Skytree, Tokyo's 634-meter broadcasting tower. All these people are saying that there's a silhouette beneath the lights. I'm not seeing it. I don't know if you guys are. Maybe you have better screens. I'm zoomed in over here. I'm not seeing a silhouette. Ooh, Yakuza drone, says Brothers Hogo.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. Yeah. I would not have a problem with that suggestion. That's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Yakuza don't exactly follow the rules, right?
No.
Skytree.
What does it look like?
Guys, I think we would know if this were Skytree.
That made it in the article. That's hilarious.
Does that look like the same thing we just seen to you guys?
I mean, the top doesn't resemble
the light pollution coming off of this thing. I mean, come on. You're telling me they just lit up the top and hid the rest of the building?
If there were smog or some sort of crazy thick cloud below it, we would see a smear of color like through it, at least.
Smog? Try a giant black curtain. I mean, there's nothing underneath this thing, dude. Like, I'm not buying it.
And this is a great point from Asmo RL. If you were a stealth drone, you wouldn't have lights on. That's also true. Synchrotron says it's a Nintendo drone. That might be the best one yet.
Nintendo drone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah,
one.
they're playing frickin' VR duck hunt out there while the president's in town.
Randizzle Whizzle 8810 says it's Goku's new Nimbus. All right, that's fair.
I don't remember Nimbus looking like that.
Fiery Wicko says it's 6'7". Oh, geez. 6'7". Well, that's all the article says. You guys saw it. They're writing all these articles about it like they do. This is supposed to be 3i Atlas's day. No real new news yet. I mean, a lot of articles written in the wake of the Joe Rogan appearance with Avi Loeb. As far as I can tell, no mini probes have detached. I'm pulling up right here. The most recent article about 3i Atlas is just so you can keep an eye on it. If you want to do the live tracker, if you want to watch eagle eggs hatch, they've got it now for 3i Atlas.
NASA has a whole thing up there. I mean, if you trust NASA, NASA has a whole thing up, a whole page about how this thing is not a threat, how it's just a comet, the trajectories, full-on pictures, how it's going to be moving over a course of the next 3 months through the solar system. The only thing that I found weird about this, honestly, the only thing I really found weird about 3i and all of the shit that's come out about it is that it gets insanely close to Mars and misses, and is also getting insanely close, I think, to Jupiter.
Oh, was it Jupiter?
To Jupiter or Saturn? I think it was Jupiter. This thing, I mean, the view of this thing that these planets are going to get from the flybys is got to be unbelievable. Too bad we don't have anything there to actually film this, right? We don't have anything on Mars, right, that would have been able to capture pictures of the flyby of this thing, right?
Allegedly, there's stuff there. They keep sending us photos back, and now there's new photos with the people are seeing those structures on Mars.
Yeah, all of that's been debunked.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also new circulation of... I saw something today that said somebody confirmed that 3i Atlas opened up like an onion blossom and released thousands upon thousands of probes or drones into the sky. Not true.
It's like a spider egg.
There's another one that depicts this thing looking more like a flying saucer with thousands and thousands of lights going off. This has also been debunked. This is not real.
Yep.
This is AI.
Yep. I saw in my search, my nightly search for 3i Atlas right now, I found my first real political spin on 3i Atlas. The headline, this is from WION, WIOnews.com. how Trump's government shutdown changed the course of 3i Atlas tracking. It'd be hilarious if the tracking wasn't in there, and it was how the shutdown changed the course of 3i Atlas. But they're saying that because of Trump and his shutdown, of course, you already see the spin happening here. The U.S. government shutdown in late 2018 and early 2019, driven by political gridlock over federal funding, forced NASA to suspend most non-essential functions. Research, communications, and public-facing websites were frozen as thousands of staff were placed on unpaid leave. So, and they're just attaching it now how NASA isn't, I guess, tracking it like they should, but there's a whole thing on their website right now where they're tracking it. I mean, everyone's tracking it. I think it was only China who chose not to track it when it was close to Mars. Was that correct?
Yeah. And there's going to be more and more surveillance as we go on. As this thing gets closer to Earth over the course of the next couple of months, I think through December, I can't remember directly what the timeline for passage is. We're a pretty decent distance away. There's no signs whatsoever that this thing is going to come in our direction. But we should, at some point, all get a decent view of this thing moving through the sky. And we should be able to see it with our own eyes, with our own telescopes, with things like that. And I think that's when all of this hype is going to die down and everybody will be able to go back to their lives.
I don't know what we'll do without it. I love it.
3i Atlas, we hardly knew ye.
There's another article I found here. This is from 50 minutes ago. Scientists believe that comet 3i Atlas could hit NASA's probe in the coming days, an unprecedented event in space exploration.
At this point, it better hit something or I'm going to be pissed off.
But in the headline, though, hit is in quotation marks. So what does that mean? It's not really going to hit it. It's
3i Atlas could give birth midair.
That would be something. That would be something. Yeah, they're saying it's just going to come. It's going to hit possibly like its path. It won't hit it. So it's a phantom hit. But you guys can look for yourselves. I looked earlier, and there's already a ton of new articles, but none of them amount to really anything. We're just waiting. We are just waiting. So what do we have next? Do you want to get to this nuclear power aliens over nuclear sites article?
Yeah, now we also have a 40-ish second video on this that we can go through here as well. Yeah.
Let's do it.
I kind of want to see what the sound is, but it's probably just stupid music.
Scientists from Stockholm and Vanderbilt
narration.
universities examined digitized photos from Palomar Observatory taken before satellites existed. They spotted mysterious, short-lived flashes of light in the
3i
sky
Atlas.
above northern U.S. nuclear sites. These flashes were 68% more likely the day after a nuclear test and increased with reported UFO sightings. While researchers didn't claim these were aliens, the statistical link is raising eyebrows. Congressional hearings on UFOs continue to fuel curiosity and calls for more transparency.
Interesting.
That first image, when you said 3i Atlas, I think that was actually an illustration of one of my favorite stories from the Civil War. Maybe you could look this up really quick before we get into the article. Search War Comet Civil War. Anyone out there know about this? This is a story that was like widespread right at the beginning of what would be the Civil War. You see
Why
this?
is it a picture of Abraham Lincoln's head?
Yes.
And the tail
Can you
is
show
the
them that?
American flag.
I love that image. Show them that, please. And I'll tell everybody about it.
Oh, man. This
is legit, dude.
This is some of the most American shit I've ever
Guys,
seen.
check this out. So the War Comet in 1861, and there's a ton of stories of people seeing this in 1861.
I think I just found my next tattoo.
Okay. I'm okay. I might get that. I'll do it with you. This will be like an inverted world tattoo. It's Lincoln.
Can 3i Atlas be American? Is that, do we have to have someone land on it in order to claim 3i Atlas
Put
as
it in the
American?
back.
Because we could totally do something similar here. But this is pretty amazing.
I was actually thinking about having someone come in here to do a tattoo on me live on air.
I would be
some
so
point.
down for
But
that.
we
I
have
could run the
to-
show for a little bit if you want to
Yeah.
get stitched up, and we'll go to you.
Do it on
We'll have a
camera.
live pain cam.
The only thing is, I want to test it somehow with like the sound, because these are pretty good, like right here, but
well,
that sound is horrible.
I would have to kill basically
Yeah.
all the mics except for the one that's in use
Yeah.
to limit the aerial sound. We probably have to dead the room just a little bit too, but I mean, hey man, tattoo gun, you know. Oh,
think
I'm
it'd be
sorry, it's
fun.
not. It's a tattoo machine. Don't ever call it a tattoo gun.
Yeah, they don't like that.
No one likes that actually uses those machines. That's an old habits die hard.
Yep. So this comet in 1861, it was so low and so close to Earth that, and this is according to all the witness accounts, it cast a shadow across the country as it was going.
Fantastic.
It's crazy. And people called it the war comet because it was like the sense of doom happening. So it's just crazy to think about that time before so much bloodshed. This was like the harbinger of doom passing over the country. And then everyone's already on edge. And then I'm like, what is that?
This looks like the harbinger of liberty here, for Christ's sakes. This is
Yeah.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
As awesome as this is, let me see if I can actually find the real any real photographic evidence of
there's
this
an
thing here.
actual there's another old illustration with a man's face on it, like a random man. That will say like, oh, it was called the Great War Comet of 1861. You'll see that it looks like a it looks like a bunch of needles flying off of an old man's head. I swear we're going to read about nuclear sites and UFOs in a second, but this
Yeah, these are obviously they didn't have the technology back then to give us a decent look here, but there are multiple illustrations of this, and they all look generally the same. There's a bunch of artwork out there. I found the one that Shane was talking about, which is really, really crazy looking. So I'll show you guys this really quick.
I love this.
This is the guy.
Yeah, I forgot all about this.
Good old Getty Images at it again. This is Porcupine Man. I don't know who this guy is.
I started actually, I think it was the second. Yeah, it was the second Inverted World book. I think I start maybe the second chapter. It starts with this image because I'm looking at the Wikipedia page right now just to refresh my memory. I forget that this actually took 3 months to pass by, so it was like it was here for a sustained amount of time. Yeah, I love that image.
Now, this would have been a hell of a sight to see back in the day. If I was alive and had no better idea with this would have been definitely a must-watch. I mean, the depiction here is this flying over the water, and you can see the reflection in the ocean, which is also pretty intense.
Yeah, I did like a deep dive on all like space-related Civil War stories for that book throughout it because this is when I was in Georgia for the Civil War, the Confederate Gold story, and it happened. It just so happened that in that town, they call it one of the darkest spots in the country. That's what they call it now because there wasn't the light pollution then that they worry about now. So now in this area, just outside of Washington, Georgia, there's like this huge astronomer community because it's so dark down there at night. And again, this is where I saw the sphere floating in the sky above the tree line, making the sign of the cross. But during the Civil War, this same town in Washington, Georgia, was also turned into like a temporary astronomy campground. There might actually be pictures of that too. We don't have to go to that. But like they took over this town so they could watch, I believe, a solar eclipse. So it was just fun to look through all that because they were obviously all the doom of war happening. The Great Comet happened at the beginning, solar eclipse, and then as the death was happening, this like, you know, obviously there's a lot of Christians in America at that time, but they began to turn to things like seances to speak to the dead that they lost. So, you know, you probably know the story of Mary Todd Lincoln in her grief and possible psychosis, did a lot of seances, I think in the Red Room of the White House. So much grief. You know, they lost their kid. That was the other crazy thing, as I get back to this nuclear site article, is just the weird parallels between Jefferson Davis and Lincoln and their grief. You know, both their sons were buried in the same cemetery, and they never met, allegedly. But they were just two, like, grief-stricken men on either side of this war. Everyone was. But just to think of those two guys sharing a similar grief as the war was happening, insane stuff. But that was all. You can still watch all of those videos. We serialized that entire book. Alex did all the audio. I narrate it. Jessica, who does all of our art, illustrated it, and we have a lot of those photos. Some of those photos we just pulled up are in it, but that's way back. It must be 2 or 3 years ago now. But let's get to new research. Oh, wait, no, that's Canadians. Sorry, we're not there yet. Not there
Yeah,
yet.
we're still on alien spying nuclear.
Yeah, and this
et cetera.
has been a theory for quite some time. But now, let's see what USA Today of all places, is saying, did aliens spy on our nuclear tests? Study finds signs of UFOs near U.S. sites in the 1950s. And we played the video already. If you're a UFO enthusiast, you're probably already familiar with a question that crops up regularly in the slew of never-ending docuseries and congressional testimony, and on many episodes of Inverted World Live. Are otherworldly visitors spying on humanity's nuclear weapons programs? Now, researchers claim they have found tangible evidence that there may be something to that notion. Studying historical photographs from the late 1940s and 50s, researchers said they were able to spot unidentified flashes in the stars over the northern United States near where nuclear testing was being done. Like you and me, looking at all these fake stars after every episode. If it's not overcast, we've seen them. Although Seamus was maybe messing with us or just making us sound crazy when we brought him out there to show him the drones.
Oh, yeah. Well, in fairness, I didn't actually see
I didn't either that night.
any activity that night. I was like
weird.
pointing him out. I was like, hey, keep an eye on these things. And he's like, I don't see it. And I kind of looked at Shane. I was like, you know what? I don't really see anything.
It didn't
right now
happen that
either.
night.
It wasn't happening.
But I swear, when it's us out there, we see them. And we talked to the other gentleman. Sorry, I'm all over the place tonight.
And these things were not buildings.
Yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's no tall buildings out here. Anyway, the flashes, which the researchers described as transient star-like objects, which is what I'm going to start calling the things outside, were detected as several mysterious bright spots in the sky. Intriguingly, the objects were captured in the images long before the first satellites were ever launched, ruling out a prime suspect. The dates of the photos also seem to correlate with the timing of many reports of UFOs, the researchers said in a news release announcing the findings. The research, which was published in 2 separate peer-reviewed studies in October, just in time for Halloween. I always love when these kind of articles come out in October. It's like, are they doing it just for the clicks? Or are they just gearing up? They're like, we need some spooky science stories for USA Today. Who can peer
Hey,
review
it
this?
helps us out.
No, I'm stoked on it.
Can't even be mad about it.
I love these stories. They've been going on for a while. I don't know if it'll get into it. I forget, but there's people, there's military guys who believe that UFOs shut down nuclear test sites in the 50s. So the research, which was published, okay, read that. It comes as renewed interest in UFOs in the United States, all the hearings we're having. Congress has hosted public testimony 3 times since July 2023 on the strange sightings, which the government now refers to as unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP. Here's everything to know about the research, as well as what has been unveiled about UAP in the halls of Congress. And here we have these photos of flashes of light appear, correlated to nuclear tests, UFO sightings. Can you guys tell which ones are the flashes? Can you?
This is one of those things where it goes back to like, you're in school and they're like, hey, match up the pictures and find the differences, You can kind of see in that first photo there are several, and my mouse pointer doesn't show, unfortunately, for me to highlight these things, but there's a cluster towards the top middle in that first photo that isn't there in any of the other photos.
Yeah.
So I would think that that's probably one of those areas that we're looking for.
You got it. And then down to the left, that one looks like it's moved or grown from the top right image, the bottom left of that image, and then the third one on the bottom left. It looks like that bottom left bright spot.
Back and to the left.
Yeah, back and to the left. Good reference. That's exactly what that is. Researchers at Stockholm University in Sweden and Vanderbilt University in Tennessee analyzed digitized historical photographs taken between 1949 and 1957 by the Palomar Observatory in California. Their goal to spot short-lived flashes of light. The flashes of light, or transients, look like stars appearing and disappearing within a single exposure. Today, we know that short flashes of light are often solar reflections from flat, highly reflective objects in orbit around the Earth. Beatrice, I'm not even going to attempt to say that one, an astronomer at Stockholm University who co-wrote the research, said in a statement, Villarroel?
You have to use the R.
I can't do that.
Villarroel.
I'm too American, Brandon. I'm just too American.
I'm pretty American myself, but I paid attention for like 2 hours of Spanish class during the 2 years that I had it, and the rest of it I think I slept.
I was in Spanish from 7th grade to like maybe the beginning of college, and I still only know muy bien. But because the photographs were taken before the first satellite was launched into orbit in 1957, it's unclear just what could have been responsible for the flashes. Though the researchers stopped short of speculating on the exact nature of the flashes, they did draw a statistical connection between the timing of the flashes with the dates of above-ground nuclear weapons tests and anecdotal reports of UFOs. The idea that nuclear weapons have long attracted the interest of extraterrestrials is strongly ingrained within UFO mythology. Of the 106,000 flashes of light they analyzed, researchers found that they were 68% more likely to occur the day after a nuclear weapons test than on days without. In addition, the number of flashes increased by an average of 8.5% for each report of UFO sighting.
I got a question.
Please.
Are we just testing nuclear weapons that often?
I think we've blown up 2,000 at this point.
Because it's like, they're actually using this as a statistic to measure these flashes by.
Dude, like, real quick, I'll pull it up over here just to see. Let's see how many Operation Fishbowl exploded. That might only be like 10 or so, but there are so many of these.
What was the one we were talking about the other night? Wasn't it like 600 or 700 or some ridiculous number like that?
So in 1962, Operation Fishbowl did 11. These were all high altitude. So like they're bombing the atmosphere, which is a lot of countries ended up doing. If they weren't doing them underground, I mean, we did them obviously above ground like Trinity, but we did a whole bunch in the air. China did, France did, Russia did. We just talked about the SAR bomb, which was the biggest one that we know of, that they tested over the Arctic. But I think it might be 2,000 worldwide that we've done. You know what might be worth pulling up? I'll see if I can find it. It's such a beautiful and terrifying image. It's insane. The map of nuclear explosions. Have you seen this? It's so good.
It's possible that I have, but I don't know. I have to see it again.
All right. If you want to, real quick, go to YouTube and do a time lapse, a map of every nuclear explosion. It should come up. It's too long of a video, but you can skip around and show people. A time lapse, a map of every nuclear explosion. This is wild. It's a 14-minute video.
That seems long.
It is, but you can skip around.
Must be a lot of nuclear explosions.
Oh, yeah. I think it's 2,000 altogether that the world has done that we know of, that they've told us. So my question is in regards to that article then, I'll just say this thought real quick, is that what if also the explosions affect the atmosphere and that's what's flashing in the sky? At what point did you go to?
I just started this from the beginning. We're looking at 1952, 53, 54. And there is a little ticker up at the top that you guys can't see. I'm going to have to kind of drop this for a second. But you see this little counter up here that shows the countries that are firing these off? Look at how much this is increasing exponentially over the course of just a couple of decades.
This is a crazy video, right, guys? I mean, and they're getting bigger each time. Well, not maybe in every country, but certainly in ours and in Russia. And you can see Russia getting really aggressive with it.
We're now into 1975.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pause this for a second so that we can take into account how many have been fired here. Now, we are well over 1,000 count. Russia is next behind us. With 472. We're at 816 by 1977, followed by France with 76, and Great Britain with a massive 28.
Brother Shogo said Africa, LOL.
They are down there with... I didn't even see them down there. I didn't even see them down there.
That's amazing.
Where the hell did they get one?
Who gave Africa an atom bomb?
Did they buy it off the black market?
China was
China
was like, here, you guys have this, you blow it up, but we're going to want that research. Horror Rod said, oh no, it's cop sirens. Let's keep going. We'll skip around. I might be wrong about the
we could just let, we could just let this thing. This is only a 3 and change minute video. This is super sped up so that we're rolling through the ticker here, but How
at that.
uncomfortable does it make everyone feel to know? Now, I'm 3 years into my life here, 4, 5, and we are over 2,000 that have been fired on the planet. Let's see how much that number increases between the year 2000 and 2025, if they go that far.
They were supposed to
I just
stop.
saw Africa pop up with 4. They got 3 more.
Who's giving Africa atom bombs?
Man.
Who's giving Africa atom bombs? That's a new shirt I want to make.
It looks like they might have. Did they slowed this down here?
What happened is we slowed down, but we still kept going. And off of down there in Bikini Atoll, where we did a lot of those early tests in the Pacific, there are crazy stories about our government. Look at Russia. Look at that. What year are we at right now? Was this like the 80s or early 90s?
This just stamps between 45 and 98. So I don't know if this is
okay.
recapping by country and then showing all of the hot zones.
Okay. But the Bikini Atoll stuff, like that, there's that theory that SpongeBob is, I think it's like he's at Bikini Atoll because of all the testing they did that it affected the.
Turned a sponge into a living being.
Yeah, and it was crazy stories about some people who were there who weren't supposed to be there. We allegedly didn't know they were there. These fishermen, and they got really sick. I think they all died eventually from radiation. So there you have it, the nuclear map. And if you believe in UFOs visiting nuclear sites, which I think is not completely out of the realm of possibility, whether we believe in extraterrestrials or something, some demons, something must want to observe this. If it's not us from the future, we're talking about 8 ancient breakaway civilizations last night. Perhaps they're coming to observe how it's like the birth of us destroying ourselves.
And you guys can check the ticker to the right. This time lapse looks like it took place between 1840, is that 1945? I would have to say it's 1945.
If it's 1845, that's amazing.
We were not doing this in 1845 that I know of.
As far as we know.
1945 to 1998, 2,053 detonations this is claiming.
That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of
That's
damage.
not counting the last 27 years.
A lot of damage.
Now, we got Shane talking about aliens in the ocean.
Yep.
A lot of these detonations happened in the ocean.
Yep.
And it really makes you wonder if that's why we got some real freakish shit that we're finding nowadays down there.
When did we find the anglerfish? Maybe we created that with nuclear bombs.
Wouldn't it be funny if the oarfish, the doomsday fish itself, was derived directly from nuclear testing?
Yes. I want to believe it. I think those are real aliens down there, and we probably made them with all of our nuclear testing. But it is 10:43. I want to get to callers, but basically, I just have to think about that after thinking about these findings of transient flashing lights over nuclear testing sites. There's something to it, I think. When we started doing stuff like this is when we really started to rip a hole in space-time.
I want to save this Canadian article for tomorrow.
Yeah. Perfect.
That fits with tomorrow.
Yep.
So
And if you're Canadian, you should call in tomorrow. We'll allow maybe one Canadian. Just one. The Canadians are the cyclists.
You've got to
world.
prove citizenship, though.
Yeah, you can't just
You can't just say I'm Canadian, eh? And then
you can't just say a boot.
You got to prove citizenship.
Yeah. All right, let's get to callers.
All right.
How are you guys doing out there? Everyone doing good? Josh Chandler saying the moon is alien. Ever thought about that, Shane? Yeah, I have. Perhaps perhaps it's a mothership. I knew this lady who she was this very wealthy lady, and she's from actually Canada of all places. Moved to New York. She had some crazy doctor, and she would ask me to drive her to the doctor sometimes. She's this much older lady, and my wife and I were pretty friendly with her. And someone said I killed John Wayne. Who killed John Wayne?
Red meat?
I don't know, but
Marlboro cigarettes, maybe.
this doctor that she went to, who only saw pilots. I've told this story before, but he saw like a lot of pilots. And he was becoming worried that these pilots were getting more, they had more exposure to radiation. His theory was because the Earth had tilted. This is way before I heard from, what's his name, Ben Davidson, about the pole shifting. This guy was saying this is like 10 years ago. And on top of that, this doctor would say to this lady that he swore, this is just like a normal-ish guy with a doctor practice and everything. He said the moon was an alien mothership, and there was no way you could tell him otherwise. The Adamsden, am I saying that right? Norm Macdonald was one of the best Canadian exports of all time. Amen to that. Thank you to Canada for Norm Macdonald. What else? They gave us Death from Above, great band, 1979. I think that's it.
They were responsible for, I think, Avril Lavigne.
Oh, yeah.
Which, thank you for that.
But they cloned her eventually.
But they
She
were
died and
also
they cloned her.
responsible for Chad Kroeger, so it's like...
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Chad Kroeger.
I'm giving you the side eye right now, Shane. We're gonna have to talk about
I'm
this
okay with
later.
Chad Kroeger.
He's actually a pretty cool dude, from what I hear. There were old stories about after shows he used to open up this thing called the Kroeger Lounge, where they would go to like a backstage area, and everybody who was there were able to bring their friends and things like that, and he would just have a bunch of bottles and stuff bought, and everybody could kind of just go and after party and drink, and he would just hang out, smoking, doing his thing in the corner or whatever, which I was like, that's pretty cool from a band standpoint and a tour
I think he
standpoint.
gets a bad
I would have
rap.
loved to have had that every
Yeah.
single night from the touring band hosting, so
He
that's
gets a
pretty
bad
cool.
rap. He gets a bad rap. Someone saying Gavin McGinnis, is he Canadian? I guess I knew that. John Candy, thank you, Son of Nothing. True. Some people are saying Rush. Not the biggest Rush fan. Sorry guys, they could have stayed in Canada.
Somebody just said Nick Hexum. Is Nick Hexum Canadian?
I don't know.
I don't know about that. I got to look that up. That might be a 311 fact I actually don't know, and now I'm curious.
They're saying Will Shatner is also Canadian. That makes sense. But while I pull up a Will Shatner comment, and when you're done searching if your guy's Canadian, let's get to callers.
Yeah, I'm getting sidetracked by the Hexum thing.
Oh, it's all good.
Let's go to, all right, so I got a couple people on the list that we have not gotten to, and I want to bring them on, and then we'll get to everybody else that we can after that. Let's start with Lord Awesome Sauce. And I can't remember if we were able to get him on the other night or not. I remember we were trying to, but I don't remember.
I'm going to
what
read this
happened.
really quick. When William Shatner went to space on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, and he came back, he told NPR, I was crying. I didn't know what I was crying about. I had to go off someplace and sit down and think, what's the matter with me? And I realized I was in grief.
Where did he go off to?
Right?
5 feet over to another seat in the ship?
Yep. He said it like, this is the rest of the quote. It was the death that I saw in space and the life force that I saw coming from the planet, the blue, the beige, and the white. And I realized one was death and the other was life. Came back with like some profound thoughts.
Wow.
Captain Kirk. Wild quote. All right.
Lord Awesome Sauce, are you with us?
I am. How do I sound? I'm with earbuds right now. Am I sounding like a little tinny or cloudy or anything like that?
No, you're actually good.
Sound good?
All right. So first off, I just want to let you know about the Nick Hexum thing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He's the one who knows about fangs. I don't know if you recognize that.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, the Shatner thing. He was actually, I don't know if you guys follow too much, but Alex was talking about it because local DJ Mancow is actually friends with Shatner, and it's most likely he was referring to the cataclysm that many of the elites might know about what's happening, pole shift, well, whatever
Right,
it might
right.
be.
Okay.
As what Jesus in the Bible says, no man will know the time or day or what it actually is.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what it is. And back to Tokyo here.
Yeah.
Now remember, guys, I owned a comic book store in the nearest burbs of Chicago, so I actually know what it is. It was actually that is the hovercraft from the Green Goblin.
Ooh.
Okay.
I see that. I do see that.
Interesting take.
Yep. I think we just saw
Now-
Good job.
now-
Looked pretty similar.
Good job.
And if people are saying that's fake, kind of, sort of. Yeah, it was actually the chupacabra riding a hovercraft. That's what it was.
A chupacabra.
So a chupacabra left Mexico to go to Tokyo to ride the Green Goblin hovercraft?
And ICE didn't get a hold of him?
Everyone knows that Mexico has the best hovercrafts, period.
I was not aware of this.
I mean,
I had no idea.
and and back to the 3-eye atlas, okay?
Yes.
So what it actually is do you know the supervillain Galactus from the Marvel Comics?
Of course. Silver Surfer, yeah.
Yeah.
Herbie
So what he was
definitely
trying to do, he was straddling Saturn's rings to give the planet Saturn an upper decker, and he slipped. And that's actually it's just Galactus space turd floating around.
An
That's what
upper
it was.
decker, he said.
I haven't heard upper decker in like 30
It's been a
years.
while. It's definitely been a
Oh
while.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's terrible.
So these are some interesting theories, man.
Hilarious. Yeah, I think they're all legit, and I believe every single one.
Yeah, these are not theories; they're all true.
Yep.
So anyway, back to last night. You guys were talking about Avi Loeb, and he was actually talking. I think you mentioned he was talking about he felt he was receiving space messages. Was that right, or was I like kind of imagining that? Or
I don't know if he said that. And real quick, I want to shout out everyone who's just now joining us from IRL. What's up, everybody? We're talking about Tokyo, UFOs, Trump, and nuclear sites. And now we're talking about Avi. We're going back to Avi Loeb, the probe guy. And did he say he received space messages? Not that I know of. You know, maybe he kind of hinted at that in his writings, but it was more of like it's all very theoretical with him. Did you hear that in the clips we were playing?
you know, I'm not sure. Maybe I was just taking a cognitive leap, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to say that Nikola Tesla also thought he was receiving space messages. That's
Very
where he
true.
was getting his information to make the 0-point energy drives.
Yep.
And
What we have heard about 3i Atlas is that people were saying they were hearing, receiving some kind of like pulse signal from it, which reminded them of that wow signal from a few decades past. And somewhere I think speculating that original wow signal might be 3i Atlas. But like in every other story with 3i Atlas, everything kind of contradicts one another, and there's always something new. But there is that. But I haven't heard Avi talk about the pulse sound yet. But yeah, you're right about
maybe that was
Tesla.
Yeah, no, maybe that was it. I was having kids running around in my house because I have kids, so I could have gotten distracted.
I know how it goes.
Do you know anything about a guy named Jordan Maxwell?
That name sounds really familiar.
Really familiar. Tell us. I'm gonna look up.
Okay. So Jordan Maxwell, he's sort of like some of the precursor for conspiracy theories. I don't really want to say conspiracy theories. He's a conspiracy researcher.
Right.
Started investigating a whole bunch of things. Referenced the 14 times, which is an ancient, not ancient, from like the early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a collection of bizarre news articles. And he was told to look at that from people he claimed were angels / aliens. Now, I don't know if anyone knows this, but the term angel is actually it's a misnomer in a way, but not a way. Angel means an emissary or messenger of God.
Right.
So if you want to make those as beneficent aliens or actually intelligent angelic entities that don't have any corporeal bodies, whatever way you want to look at it. But there's another guy that he teamed up with called Johnny Enoch. I know it sounds like a goofy name, but he referenced Jordan and Zechariah Sitchin. Do you know about Zechariah Sitchin and the Anunnaki, the lizard people type shit?
I've heard about the Anunnaki. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with Enoch. I'm looking him up right now. It's an interesting last name to have when you're talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just claimed that last name. Yeah,
Okay.
Johnny Enoch.
Yeah.
So Zachariah Sitchin, he actually claimed during his translations of the scrolls, he claimed Anunnaki were in his home. Physical Anunnaki were in his home, helping him translate the scrolls.
Interesting. Did they say, like, what did he write about their appearance? Did we have anything else? You were like, I don't want to say proof because sounds like he probably didn't take photos of him. There's no selfies with the Anunnaki.
No, it's only through Jordan Maxwell saying this is what Zachariah Sitchin said to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to prove.
Of course. I mean, yeah, it's a wild claim, but no, this stuff is interesting. I'm looking up Maxwell. I have seen this guy's name, but I haven't dug into him yet. I'll have to do some of that. When you look him up, people like David Icke come up, so that's always fun.
They both sides would reference each other's references and work, but
Okay.
usually 9 times out of 10, all their stuff would be backed up by whatever claims that they were actually making.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, Cy Hirsch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Cy Hirsch for a second.
Let's talk about old Cy.
I remember reading that he claimed Osama died of cancer way before they even went in to go get him.
Yes. Dude, I've been trying to get Seymour Hersh on this show. He's old, so it might not happen, but it's a wild claim. I mean, he wrote a whole article about it. I think that was published in the London Times. I think he had a hard time publishing it here, but it broke down the timeline of Osama's death in terms of the official story that we had, and it doesn't make sense, and it really caused a lot of ripples because the White House had to come out at the time and say, like, okay, yeah, this was weird. Like, I forget how we could do a whole thing one day. I'd like to do that, where they talk about the timeline. They got this wrong, they got that wrong. Some of these accounts were weird and easy to falsify. And then he turned it into a whole book. I think it's called The Killing of Osama bin Laden. And it's crazy. I mean, the stories this guy broke are kind of insane through his lifetime. He's 88 now.
Yeah, and from what I understand, he's a bit cantankerous right now too. So.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like a lot of his more recent interviews, and I think the most recent ones are probably 5 or 10 years old, as far as I've seen lately. He's always on like Democracy Now, and they have a very certain leaning. But this guy, no matter who was in office, he went after the truth, and if he got some sort of breaking story or a clue or a source, he really dug into it, and it wasn't just sensational stuff. He spent a lot of time breaking some really wild stories. He did a lot of good work, and it was just interesting because when he broke some of these stories, one of them was, I think it was the massacre in Vietnam, and like Nixon. As far as we know, they were saying Nixon was thinking about revoking his Pentagon press pass, and they were like, if we do that, that's a really bad look. So, I mean, it's crazy that they didn't, because he really made that administration and the military, certain aspects of the military, look pretty bad. It was ugly, but he also struggled with writing those things because he didn't want to make every military person out to be a villain. And he talks about that too, because he was worried that if he broke this story and people found out that there were soldiers, U.S. soldiers in Vietnam, doing things like throwing babies in the air and catching them with their bayonets and killing them and doing all these insane murder sprees, it would reflect badly on the whole military. I wonder what that was like back then when that story broke, just on the ground. I'd be curious to know. But yeah, crazy journalist.
Yeah, he was always deep and dirty in it, and yeah, I kind of love him for it.
Definitely, me too.
Let me see. And so here's the thing with the nukes, you guys. And I'm glad you actually covered it with the animated flashes of the nukes.
Mm-hmm.
So back when Jesus was doing his works, he went to a cave with lunatics in it, and remember where we get the term lunatic from is from the word moon, luna, lunatic,
right?
And they asked Jesus, and Jesus pulled the demons out from this lunatic, and he was going to send him into the pigs. And they're like, but before he sent him into the pigs, they're like, no, please, Jesus, don't send us into the void. Whatever you do, just don't send us into the void. Please send us anywhere you want. And then Jesus sent them to the pigs, and then they ran off to the cliff into the water and whatever.
Yep.
Now, a void is nothingness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't recall. Have you ever heard of the story about maybe it's called Stranger in the White House? It was about a supposed alien interaction with possibly President Eisenhower, revolving around a supposed alien named Thor Valvaliant or Valvaliant Thor or something like that.
Yeah, is this about the contract they supposedly made?
Yeah, but one of the things is that supposed alien was telling them, like, hey, you guys need to stop dropping these nukes. They are affecting other dimensions other than your own, and they're causing damage.
Right.
Now, I saw one other, animated thing of all the nukes dropping down, along with demonic possession cases happening. And the timing added up real well. So if you were dropping a nuke and it's ripping holes in the fabric of space-time, into maybe, let's say, a void, and they're ripping things out of it, I don't know. It's just some mind candy right there.
I agree. I mean, I think one of the greatest gifts David Lynch gave us before he died was that episode of Twin Peaks. I talk about it all the time. Talk about it last night. But I think he was trying to get at with that episode when we started dropping it, and he showed us his version of Trinity, and then right after that explosion, he shows us like how, for anyone who's watched Twin Peaks, how like the demon of Bob and others were able to come to Earth, as if we ripped open a hole through space-time, and that bled through, and now that's how we got all this new evil. And I think that's such a great visual representation of how that happens. We talk all the time about different ways the demons, or however you think about them, might use technology or electricity to communicate or to manipulate with us. That episode does such an interesting job of doing it. And I advise everyone to watch the entire 3 seasons, but I know it's a lot there. But that season 3, called The Return, episode 8, when he shows the atom bomb, the Trinity exploding, and then this terror in the universe and the demons coming through from the dark realm, or whatever he called it, I think that's fascinating.
No, that is super damn cool.
It's so good.
I'll definitely have to take a look at that. Side note, Mary Todd Lincoln and her seances. Have you ever seen what Mary Todd Lincoln looks like?
I have an image in my head. She was a big lady, right?
I know for a fact what she was doing. She was trying to find her Karen card. That's what it was.
She was possessed Karen. I mean, I feel bad though. Like they lost their child, and I think she just went nuts from the grief. But seriously, can you imagine trying to be the president and you're at war and your wife is doing this at the White House? I mean, these are crazy times.
One of my favorite quotes from Lincoln is someone accused him of being two-faced, and his response was, "If I had 2 faces, why would I wear this one?" And really just showing like how much of a humble, self-effacing, pretty humorous dude he was.
His second face was in the image that we showed earlier of the comet blasting past Earth.
I still have some issues with Lincoln. I think he gets off too favorably in the annals of history.
Generally, yes. From what I understand, he wasn't the stand-up citizen that everybody proclaimed him to be.
He wanted war, and also but everyone's complex. And also, I don't think Jefferson Davis was the devil everyone made him out to be. This guy they adopted a black kid. I mean, it's just such a funny thing to think about.
I mean, look at politics today. A lot of people are made out to be things that they're not, and it's a nonstop thing every single day with more and more people involved.
Unless you're Peter Thiel and you're watching right now, or Sam Altman. But no, I totally agree. Like Jefferson
Peter Thiel
Davis
spits out his cup of blood.
yeah. Like Jefferson Davis, they adopted this black child that his wife saw getting beaten in the streets in Virginia, and they took that boy with them on the run. And the Union basically kidnapped him. I mean, you don't really know the official story, but that is, as far as we know, they took him and they never saw him again.
George Washington's teeth were made out of like slaves and random animals' teeth, like
just like mine, actually.
It's like, where was he? Was he getting them from like deceased slaves, or there's a whole thing behind that I want to look into as far as some of that stuff that I saw.
But yeah, man, I appreciate the phone call. Great to hear from you again, and thanks for all the info.
Have a great one, guys. I love the show so much.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Take it easy.
Elon Musk is also from Canada, technically, because his grandfather fled.
I thought you said
South
he
Africa.
was from Mars.
Well, Canada might be Mars. I don't know. I'm still on the edge. I don't really know, but I think they're connected somehow. Tom Green was also from Canada. Is also from Canada.
That makes sense. He's
it certainly makes sense.
That makes total sense.
Phil Hartman, that's a great.
R.I.P.
Phil Hartman was one of the greats.
Yep.
Dan Aykroyd, Ghostbusters.
Nick Hexum is actually from Madison, Wisconsin, which is what I thought.
Okay.
I knew he was from Wisconsin somewhere. I didn't know it was Madison, but Madison, Wisconsin.
People
not Canadian.
Got a little mad at me when I called Steven Crowder Canadian the other day. I know he was born in this country, but he did spend all his childhood in Canada. So he's basically Canadian. I don't care.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, that's one.
That's why he
good
looks
call
like
on
that
that one, Stacey.
It says Dwayne Johnson's from Canada.
I thought he was Samoan.
What is going on?
I mean, you could be Samoan and still be from not Samoa.
I guess Michael Cera. That is the face of Canada. If it's not Trudeau, it's Sarah, and Drake.
Definitely
of
Trudeau.
course, Drake. The most offensive thing Kanye ever said was that he liked Drake. I'll never.
I don't think that was true.
Well, he always says that Drake is his favorite rapper, even when he hates him. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, no.
Give me a break.
That sounds like another.
It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing he's ever said. I don't care about the Hitler comments. I care about the Drake comments. All right, who we got next?
Kendrick Lamar. No,
that'd be awesome.
That would be so sick. I would love to have Kendrick on the show. Let's go to. Did my second up leave?
Uh-oh.
I think he did. All right.
They were like, uh-oh, I'm Canadian. I can't talk.
Let's bring on Realms Walker.
Astronaut Farmer says, bro, you can be more than one thing. Not when your Canada's involved. Sorry, brother. It's like if you're a cyclist, that's all you are. I don't care.
Realms Walker, what's up?
Oh, we got Realms Walker in here? Hello?
We might.
Hello?
Oh, bitch.
There he is.
That sounds about right. What's up? We have a mystery.
Can you hear us?
How we doing,
Hey,
gentlemen?
man.
Hey,
What's
there he
up?
is.
Hey, now how y'all been doing tonight?
We're doing good.
Hanging out, man. What's going on?
Nothing. Just want to talk about the 3-Eye Atlas and just some other stuff I've had happen in the past.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, as far as 3-Eye Atlas goes, I mean, since they've been seeing it, I believe it was back in July, it's been oddly slowing down, speeding up, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just stuff we can't explain. And they're just trying to explain it. And I don't know. You know, I hope you're right. I hope it's a rock flying around the sun.
What do you think it is?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I've been looking into this stuff for a long time. So probably about 15 years. And a lot of things are coming to fruition, to say the least.
Can you explain that?
So yeah, it's kind of hard. You got to do a little research into it. If you guys look into somebody called Peter Dunov, he was around back in the 1940s. He was a mythic or a guru He explained, and he performed miracles in front of tons of people, and said that there was something coming within the next century, like a great awakening.
Okay.
I hate to be like, new age, but love, light, all that bullshit.
Yeah, but before the 1960s.
Yeah. I hate to say that. No, he was from the 40s. He was from the World War II era.
Okay.
But he performed miracles in front of people and said that there would be a energy coming from the center of our solar system within the next century that would do some, it was going to cleanse the earth, apparently. But this is something you can look into. I mean, it's on the internet. You can look it up. He's written books. He's had followers that's written books. I don't know.
What do you make of it?
I don't know.
So how does that add up to what we're with the 3i Atlas stuff? Are you seeing a connection?
Well, yeah. I mean, so basically, he said an energy is going to come from the center of the solar system, and it happens every so often. Whatever, 12,500 years. Just like the Great Reset. Graham Hancock talks about it.
Yep.
But it's, I don't know. I really don't know.
So you've been following, when you say you were following stuff for 15 years, you were talking about like space, like interstellar objects, or
Everything, yes. Well, no, just everything. Okay. I've been following what you guys talk about for that long.
Because I was going to ask, like, when Oumuamua happened, was there any thinking of like what Peter Dunov was saying?
No.
Okay.
No, not even a little bit.
Because you see this 3i Atlas is wholly different because of all these different things we're hearing about it. I don't think I remember hearing about Oumuamua being nuclear powered and having its own light source.
No, that's just the government talking about it. Which is also suspect. I mean,
yes,
our government that always said UFOs didn't exist for how long, all of a sudden is like, hey, aliens.
Right. So do you think 3i Atlas is something that's real that should be taken seriously, or is it just part of the psyop?
I think they know more than they're putting on. Like, I think they know what's happening. I mean, you guys know about all the underground bases people are building, and that we have.
Like doomsday bunkers?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, how...
Like they're preparing?
How can they know and build? Yeah, I mean, the stuff that we hear, the videos you see of everything, and I'm not a flat earther at all, ever, never been one. But, have you ever heard the sounds coming from the sky? You see them in videos all the time.
Which ones?
Tons of them, groaning or, just sounds.
I don't know if I have.
What if it's something trying to get in? What if they are right? I'm kind of afraid about that.
Yeah, that's a pretty scary thought.
Yeah.
I mean, it is weird that everyone is building doomsday bunkers. You could say they're doing it because they're afraid of us. They saw what was going on during lockdowns and they want to be completely away from us. Or you could say they're building towards something else. Because I do see it as a sort of a form of the beginnings of what could be an ancient breakaway civilization before our very eyes. It's all the rich, a lot of the tech elite are doing it. They've got that big vault in like Sweden with all the seeds.
Did you see the movie Greenland?
No.
Yeah. Yep. Under the mountain with all the seeds and everything.
Yep. Yeah. I think it's a similar situation to that. I think some of it has to do with the fact that people, are think that we're standing on the doorstep to World War III.
I don't think World War III is a threat. I just don't see that.
If it goes nuclear, it's a huge threat because all it takes is one.
No. Okay, well, remember what you guys were just showing earlier, and I even put comments in. We've tested how many nukes?
Just over 2,000.
Has the world ended?
Yeah. No, those are the difference is we weren't firing them at other countries and having other countries fire them back at us, or having the entire world launch one at us to obliterate us before we fire off anymore.
There is no obliterating. I mean, they only do so much damage.
Yeah,
like that's.
But if they drop,
and then you guys, fall out well, hey, we've done 2,000. Everybody's still alive.
Not
So-
everybody. They would hit every major city along the coast on both
Well,
sides.
thank God.
Yeah.
That's something that you want to happen?
Well, no. Do you want the cities to survive? Really?
I mean, I can't see myself thanking God for the genocide of
I would
major American cities.
I would never. No. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
I'm just saying I don't miss the people in cities. I'm sorry. I live near a city.
Sure, I was in one for 30 plus years
Yeah.
and it sucked, but I don't want any of them dead.
No, and I don't know. I don't know if the next threat is even going to be nuclear. I feel like we're all worried about nuclear, but I think there's something way worse down the pipeline.
No, yeah. Oh, definitely.
But
I
who
mean,
knows?
come on. We are smart. We are 20 years behind. Everybody knows that. Anything they're showing us, we're
least.
20 years behind.
At least, but I don't want to see it get there. But I do. It's always a possibility that something horrible is happening because when what happened to Charlie happened, I couldn't help but think that we're in the 60s again, right? And then if these things do repeat, and I don't know if it's going to be something nuclear, but I mean something certainly could happen.
Nobody
We were talking
wants
about antimatter bombs being blowing places or whatever that.
I believe they're way beyond nuclear at this point. I mean, anybody that's been paying attention should know, like, they're way beyond what they say they are.
So what do you think? What do you see? If you've been studying this stuff for 15 years, like, where do you see this going? Do you think Three Eye Atlas is leading to something bigger, or is this
No,
panic?
I mean, Three Eye Atlas might just be a smokescreen. You know, like, AI has been around since the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's been here. They've already done it. They perfected it, and then they just released us whatever. Oh, hey, you can ask this thing questions. Like, all of this has been done already.
Three Eye
They
Atlas
didn't
is a rock. It's plain and simple.
It could be a rock, yes, exactly. But they could be just doing a smoke screen. I mean, we all know Blue Beam. We all know.
I mean, the narrative
all know
here
what the
could be
people love.
anything, but the base explanation of this thing is it's a comet. So really, the could be would go with any other scenario, and the base should be that it's a comet. This is what's sparking all the craziness that's going on right now. I don't think this thing is anything more than a rock, and the truth is going to out sooner or later. As it draws near, we will be able to discover our own interpretations of what this thing is.
Okay, but we're going to listen to who?
Well,
Who are we
I'm
going
telling
to
you
do?
that you can
The
listen to
experts?
yourself. No, I mean, if you consider yourself an expert, get yourself a telescope
Well, no,
and look at it and tell
okay,
us
I
what
don't
it
have
is.
a telescope.
They're very acquirable.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna. It's gonna be hard to trust anyone. The problem with now is that we've destabilized reality so much.
It's so bad right
That
now.
there's-
Like,
there's
you don't know what's that. I watch videos and I'm like, I didn't know that was AI until somebody came in the background and said, hey, that was an AI video.
It's even beyond that, though. There's
You
just
have no idea.
There's no trust in any reality. So anything you're gonna have you have your own sources that you believe in, but even that, I mean, it's gonna be tough with something like this. I mean, so, I have even questions about space in general. So it's hard for me to even buy into a lot of this stuff. And I read Avi Loeb and I'm listening to him, but he also thinks in things that I think are completely contradictory to how reality is. So. But whatever is happening, there is a doom in everybody. I mean, maybe not to a certain degree like others, but like I have been seeing people on edge everywhere.
Yes, and they are. Like,
everywhere.
We've been prepping for 3 years. Like, I have food stored up. I have guns. I have ammunition. I'm done with all of this. Like, it's just like a big game. You know what I mean?
And everyone should do that regardless. Like that should just be part of everyone's life. Whether you believe in this stuff or you follow this stuff, like people should just be prepared because you never know what's going to happen at all.
It just seems like it's getting worse, like really fast, like quicker than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, so 15 years, I've watched it kind of get played around with like a cat with a ball. But now it's like every week it's something.
Every week.
And
that's why we're calling it the fear porn. It's the doom economy. And it's ramping up, like the other day I told Tim, he was saying the writers, it feels like a like the season finale, and I'm like, it feels like the way things are going, it feels like a series finale, and it feels like, you know, conspiracies went mainstream in the past few years. A lot of them are happening right before our very eyes. We all have questions about Charlie, questions about Butler. We don't believe the elections. Like everything's kind of in the public now. And so my concern is that something crazy could happen. And then when everyone starts questioning it, because we've been accustomed to conspiracies kind of coming true, they're going to come back around and try to crush our questioning. And it's going to be something like really crazy that comes out of left field. But that's just, that's just speculation.
I'm so worried about that, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's more than one of me.
I don't want anything bad to happen, but I have my faith. And I'm worried about day to day. I got my issues day to day, just paying bills. Got my kids. They got schooling and books, and we got different stuff we do. So it's like I'm worried about that. I'm worried about raising kids right and giving them a good foundation. But obviously, in the back of my head, it's always bad about like what's going on in the world. And I do remind myself about my grandparents and how they were raising kids in the 60s, all the things they saw. To them, it felt like it was the end of the world for various reasons. Their worlds were shifting. All of a sudden, they were going to the moon, allegedly. And like, you know, the president was getting shot in the head on TV. We don't even know who did that still. Like the official story for that's bogus.
Yeah, that's BS.
It's crazy. But I mean, I still have hope for whatever reason. I know, not for whatever reason. I have hope because I have faith. But like,
I'm with you, brother.
Despite the darkness, we gotta have hope. But we're gonna get to another caller. But finish up your thought. We're gonna get to another caller, man.
Yeah, you're good, man. I don't know. I was gonna actually call in and kind of do a gag reel, but yeah, I'm just so stressed about this shit.
You're not alone, dude. You're not alone. I talk to random people all the time. I like talking to people in the real world, like just people. I don't tell them, they don't know what I do. I just talk to people, and like it's just on their minds. Like I'm not coming to them being like, I have a podcast, I talk about the doom and gloom in the world, and they're like, well, let me pour it on you. I'm like, it just comes up naturally all over the place. Yeah, other parents, my barber, like just random people outside of that at stores. I talk to cashiers, waiters, waitresses, and Uber drivers, other like teachers. There is something happening, and I think a lot of it has to do with the consequences of this country being trapped inside of an election cycle for like 10 years. It's been unending. Add on top of that all of the violence, all of the absurdity, and people are on edge. It's crazy. But you're not alone. We're all feeling it. It's crazy, but I think we're going to be okay. Despite everything in the news, things are always kind of bad, but things are also always really beautiful.
Hey, and I'm never pressed, man. Trust me. I don't live in no city. I live out where I live.
Yep.
I just wanted to talk to you. Like, you're kind of secluded anymore.
Yeah, I know. The isolation is also a thing. Even people in cities, even, everywhere. Kids, everyone's more isolated despite how connected we are through the technology. Yeah. Can't forget it. But I appreciate the phone call, man. And we will talk again.
All right, brother.
Thanks, man.
See you, man.
Yep, have a good one.
Chuck Irwin 9. I like this question. Gentlemen, what would happen if the world's internet was disconnected? I feel okay for a little bit. I like the internet. I love it as a tool, but it might start to heal the world. But they will start to take over. That is a thing. They know, by they I mean like the elites, they know they have to destroy the internet for us, and they're doing it now by seeding it with bad information from them and feds who pretend to be influencers or commenters or users on Twitter. They're trying to subvert reality through it, it's why I think everything's so destabilized now. They learned their lesson that during lockdowns, a lot of us used the internet to subvert their bogus narrative. So their next step has to be to destroy the internet. Either they're going to turn it off. We've seen lots of stories about what do they call it? The internet apocalypse, where they're going to be like, well, solar flares took out the internet. Goodbye. And when that happens, I'm like, I personally won't believe it was that story because, my skepticism bias. But whatever happens, no matter what, they will start to manufacture their new reality without all of us being able to subvert it and talk to one another. So I think it's, when you talk about prepping, that's another thing we should be prepping for, is like how you're going to talk to people still. I think that's a very important thing to think about.
We go back to landlines. Until they cut the phones,
until they cut that too.
But I mean, the internet is the modern day umbilical cord. You cut that, you cut off all the nutrients to everybody's brain supply.
They won't do it yet because
people can't coordinate properly. People would lose their fucking minds.
Yep.
A lot of influencers would go out of work. Obviously, no one can broadcast anything. You wouldn't see this show anymore.
Yep.
Obviously.
Well, we're gonna do it out of a tin can. So we'll have to have long like pieces of string, and tin cans will just be like this. It's gonna be a sick podcast.
That's not gonna be cheap. We're gonna need to.
Well, I'll pay in.
We're gonna need to eat a bunch of soup or something. And
guys, I'm gonna have you subscribe to my Tin Can podcast. It'll be the only podcast in the doomsday.
How do you just subscribe without internet?
Pigeons, carrier pigeons.
Pigeons.
Yeah, you just tell them where to go. I think Mike Tyson has them, so we'll have to get Mike Tyson involved somehow.
We're already reverting to ancient ways.
I'm stoked.
Which is the idea of losing internet.
When the internet went down in my house it was like the first week of lockdowns. We were in New York. At that point, I was at my parents' house still with my kid and my wife, and we were just about to get our own house. Like we had closed on a house on the day of the lockdowns, and the power went out, and I was like, okay, I like this, and I ended up started writing my first book, and that came out like a year later, half a year later. So I enjoy it because I am easily distracted by the internet, but it's a great tool. But if it goes out, I think there will also be mass riots.
I remember life before the internet, and it was great. Absolutely, you take it away from people now that depend on it for everything, and they will hit the streets because they don't know what to do with themselves.
Yep.
There will be riots in every city.
Total riots.
A lot of countries.
Son of Nothing says ham radio, and that's true. People should be getting to ham radio. And Horror Rod says, Shane, please be Island Boys for Halloween. That's not going to happen.
Absolutely not.
I'm not an incestuous influencer.
I'm not an island boy. I'm not trying to make it.
Shane just sang Island Boys, did I? I don't even know what they sing. They sing? I thought they just like had a thing where they tattoo their weird things on their faces.
They're idiots with diamond teeth.
Yeah. All right, who do we got next, dude?
Let's go to Justin next. About 33 minutes or so here left.
Dang, that went quick. Man, tomorrow's going to be wild.
First 45 went quick. I was surprised.
Tomorrow's going to be wild. Again, we're going to have Drea DiMatteo from Sons of Anarchy, Sopranos. She'll be on first, and we'll talk to her about she's got a crazy place. And then we'll have Tripoli come on after that. Stoked for that. And then callers and perhaps another guest. We'll see if they follow through.
Justin, are you there? I see you, but you are muted.
Good evening.
Hello.
How are you guys?
We're good, man. How are you?
What's up?
I'm good. Yeah, it's weird. I'm watching the TV, but you guys are completely out of sync. So
yeah, that'll end up screwing you over. You might want to turn that one down.
I was born that way.
So I had a really interesting. I got so many things I could actually talk to you guys about.
Cool.
I grew up in England. I got a lot of strange stories. I served tea to a demon prime minister once, and
okay. I mean,
ran into.
How do you just move on from that?
Well, I'll call it another time and tell you that story. But
okay.
This is an experience I had just a couple of nights ago,
okay.
And I've never had an experience like this before. And I went to bed, and I put on. Sometimes I put on like a Bluetooth speaker, and I put the timer on, like a sleep timer on my phone, and listen to. Sometimes I listen to your guys' show, but this particular night I put on some like meditation music.
Because you had too much Inverted World on. We were like, I need.
Sometimes
meditation.
you don't want to go to sleep with whatever the topic that you're speaking about.
Yeah,
you know?
I totally understand it. Imagine having to sleep with my brain after the show.
Yeah, I played this like meditation music, and there was something called, you know what the Schumann resonance is?
A bit. Yeah, I feel like I've heard Ian Crossland talk about it quite a bit.
It's like an Ian, definitely kind of an Ian topic.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's basically, I mean, I don't really fully understand it because it's like something a friend told me, and I kind of, it's like it's basically the resonance that the Earth puts out, like the frequency.
Right.
I forget how many like hertz it is, like 631 or 531 hertz or something. Anyway, normally I put on a sleep timer and it goes off like after 30 minutes. But this particular night, I set the timer wrong and it didn't go off. Anyway, like in the middle of the night, I woke up and I don't know if I described it as sleep paralysis, but it was like I felt something sitting on the edge of the bed. And I've heard of this like described like, podcasts or whatever, like people have said this experience. So it's not like it's completely, not in my brain at all. But it was like I felt something like indent, like next to my leg in the bed. And I was like, my eyes are shut. And I'm like, okay, that's not real. Like, forget about it. Like, this isn't happening. And I went back to sleep rather. And then the weirdest thing happened. Like, after that, like I woke up startled awake again. It's like something jumped in the bed and like started spooning me from behind.
This sounds like, did you have to Me Too this thing?
Yeah, I don't have a name, so I can't.
You can't cancel
This
it?
seems like one of the encounters that he had in Scary Movie.
Yes, that is like Scary
That's
Movie.
basically what I'm getting.
I mean, it was truly bizarre. Like it was, and I've never had an experience like that. And I've heard people talk about stuff like that, and I like try to like move, like call out, and like I felt like this kind of that sleep paralysis that people talk about.
This was in you're in England, you said?
No, I'm in Florida now, but
okay.
I'm from England originally.
Okay, I was gonna say, was this Jimmy Savile?
No, but in the 80s, I actually wrote a letter to that guy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He had this show called Jim Will Fix It. Like he was like one of the biggest shows on TV as a kid.
Yes, he was huge. For those who don't know, this guy's, I'm sure everyone knows who's listening to this show, but like this guy, after he died, everyone found out he molested like 300 kids or 400 kids or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah,
He's a major broadcaster. Broadcaster.
The BBC's got some very dark secrets.
They just had another BBC person in trouble with child porn.
It doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
It's insane. Anyway, so it wasn't Jimmy Savile spooning you. Thank goodness.
I don't think so. Hope not.
I hope not. So when this happened, did you didn't move? You felt like you couldn't? What was going on there?
I kind of felt like paralyzed. Like I tried calling out. Like I was like, okay, call out in the name of Jesus. Like, this will make it go away. And I couldn't like move. I was trying to like thrash, and I just was. It was kind of how they described sleep paralysis.
Okay.
But it was like a new thing for me, so I don't,
But you were the small spoon.
I was the little.
Sorry. It's terrible. This is a terrible experience. It's 11:30, and that's what you're getting.
Sounds awful.
But that is bizarre. And how did it disappear? Did it just stop at some point? You fall asleep and it's gone?
It just stopped. But the thing that was odd to me was like that this music was playing, this meditation music was playing,
right.
Like at that Schumann resonance. Like it was just a Spotify playlist that was like Schumann resonance or whatever. Right. And so that was the kind of correlation. I was like, that's kind of an odd coincidence. I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. But
I think frequencies do things. I mean, we've talked about.
It's proven.
Right. We've seen the videos where the frequencies, they put it, they shoot a frequency at like the dust, and it makes certain shapes at different frequencies. And it's happened throughout, many different experiments. So that could have something to do with it for sure. But that's wild. Well, I'm glad you decided that the States were the place to be.
Yeah, I've been here 25 years. I don't want to go anywhere.
Sick. And Florida's a great place.
Yeah. Florida's a great place. I'm on the Space Coast. I saw a SpaceX launch today. Like, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, we want to get to another call up before the end of the night, but I feel like you should probably call back and tell us about this demon tea thing.
For sure. I'll call back another time and tell you that story. That'd
be great. Well, appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Justin.
Incredible. Love it. People were instantly triggered in the chat by a spooning entity of sorts. I see you all.
Some of them were instantly triggered by a lot less than that.
I'm triggered just living.
There's all kinds of weird shit going on in the chat tonight.
I love it. I love it.
While we got a second, guys, take a second, hit that like button, smash the hell out of it. Comment, subscribe, share the show with everybody that you know. Let's grow the show. That's why we're here. We are go. Hang
Sorry.
on, Shane's got something.
Saul said it wasn't. Dude is too old for Savile or Seville, however you say it. That's true. That's true. It sounds like he was much older. He must have to be a younger child for that to happen. Dude, that dude is evil. He was also buried, I think, like sort of standing up or on an angle. Weird. Johnny, I told you about. I think I told you about him recently because Johnny Rotten had that old BBC interview from the 70s where he talks about, like, I think he says, and I'm quoting this, something about like someone should kill him, and they were like. He was like, you'll never air this. And he kind of hinted at certain things, and they didn't. And he was kind of blacklisted from the BBC for a long time. And he was right. It sounds like people knew what was going on, and nothing was done, which is a real tragedy. So, sorry.
What's the significance of a vertical burial?
It's creepy. Oddly enough, I'm going to look it up really quick. While I do that, I'm going to multitask here before we get to the next caller. Talking about the Confederate Gold book I wrote, the actual opening to that book is about a guy in Washington, Georgia, who he was a Jew and then converted to Christianity and became like devout, allegedly. You can look this up. I forget his name. And he wanted to kill the devil. So he said, bury me standing up. And he had so the story goes, a bottle of whiskey and a rifle. And he said he was going to shoot the devil. And you can go visit his gravesite down there. But his coffin was, so Savile's coffin was encased in concrete after burial to prevent it from being opened. But where's the part about him standing up?
So what, they made his sarcophagus vertical too and sealed it that way?
That's what I thought.
That seems like a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
I'm not finding it quickly enough. I'll have to do a little deeper
no
research.
one
I bet
tops
that people in the comments
the
know.
Egyptians when it comes to the pain in the ass lengths that they went to ensure that their pharaohs were functional in the afterlife.
Yeah, the Book of the Dead.
At places in the tiny little catacombs in the pyramids where the soul could escape, where sun could enter and they could leave and come back and be able to find their bodies to go back into their sarcophagus and rest.
Yeah, that dude. The Egyptians were.
They were hardcore, man.
They were hardcore.
They were hardcore.
They were.
Death was more
something.
important than life.
Oh yeah, they loved it. I love looking at the old artwork from the Book of the Dead stuff.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff, man.
Wild. All right, I'm not finding it, but I'll find it at some point. Let's get to another caller.
Yep. Let's bring on Stephen Wolf.
All right.
And if anybody else has anything else to talk about, call in.
Oh, that's a good point.
We should be able to get.
Hello, how are we doing, Inverted World?
What's up, Steven?
What's up?
Not much. So, first, I wanted to talk to you guys. I told you we were having a Charlie Kirk event, and we had one on Monday night. And
How'd it
we
go?
walked through the college campus of Lebanon Valley College, and there's probably about 35 of us or so.
Okay.
And we had no resistance. We walked through the campus
Great.
3 times.
Great.
Nobody gave us shit. Hell, the frat boys at the one frat house were all out with their American flag and their Trump flag, and it was pretty big league.
That's great. I'm happy to hear it, man.
So, and last night I was dressed up in my favorite Halloween costume. I showed up as Trump. We had our GOP dinner here in Lebanon County, and it was pretty big league. We had both of our statewide judicial candidates show up, and next Tuesday, folks, if you're in Pennsylvania, you got to remember, you got to flip over that ballot. You got to vote no on Supreme Court justice retention, and you got to vote no on State Superior Court retention, and you got to vote no on the Commonwealth Court retention. 5 no's. It's pretty easy to remember. You got to vote no.
You hear that, everyone out there from Pennsylvania? That's next week.
Pennsylvania. It's on the back of your ballot. Every ballot in Pennsylvania, it's on the back of the ballot.
All right. I'm glad to let them know. When you show up to a GOP function dressed as Trump, do you remain in character the entire time?
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
It's intense.
That's great.
As
I'm a big league kind of guy. What can I say? I'm pretty big league. Now I did hear earlier that Tim was talking about they went from the snap stuff to nuclear testing. That Trump was on Truth Social today, and he announced that we are going to start nuclear testing again.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, that's what
I saw something about that actually. Yeah,
What?
that's what Tim said on the show.
that's why it was funny that we covered it earlier.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Is he going to do it on the moon?
I don't know. Maybe they'll do it on this probe.
That would be awesome. That's the psyop. It's okay. We got this thing. We got to blow up into space, and that's why we have Space Force. It's all coming
finally,
together.
Right,
finally a
that's right.
believable narrative here.
All right, I think this
We're
ties it all
gonna
together.
send Bruce Willis up there to go blow it up.
Oh, poor Bruce. They're gonna have to send a clone.
Yeah, I
That's
was
what
gonna
we
say,
got now.
I don't think Brucey's up
That's
to the trip
right.
right now, man.
So President Donald Trump announced that he has ordered the United States to resume nuclear weapons testing immediately, saying he directed the Department of War to match other nations' programs. He called the move a necessary step to maintain global parity. I can't believe this happened today.
Yeah.
Hilarious. I did not see this. Trump wrote in a Truth Social post Wednesday night, the United States has more nuclear weapons than any other country. This was accomplished including a complete update and renovation of existing weapons during my first term in office. Because of the tremendous destructive power, I hated to do it. I feel bad reading Trump but not doing your voice. But anyway, I have to do no choice. Russia is second and China is a distant third, but will be even within 5 years. Because of other countries' testing programs, I have instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis. That process will begin immediately. Wow. That's major. Oh my goodness. I don't like that, dude.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
I don't like that. Trump, president, don't do this.
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm curious, everyone out there in the chat, like, do you guys all believe in nukes? Because I know there's a big community of non-believer in nukes, and that a lot of the nuke testing and nukes being dropped were like fire bombs, a ton of fire, like a fire bombing, like a carpet bombing of it, like in Dresden.
So
Curious about
my
everyone out
grandpa
there.
was a World War II vet,
Yep.
and he was in the Navy.
Yep.
And he first went around Europe. I told you guys about this the first time I called in, over a month, probably about a month or two ago. Can't believe it's been that long already. But he ended up after Europe. They ported in Virginia, and then they went to the Panama Canal, and they were out in the Pacific. And he got sick, and he had to get surgery done, and they brought him on the aircraft carrier where they had the Enola Gay sitting on the deck,
No way.
getting it prepped and ready
That's
to
crazy.
go drop that bomb, the first one.
That's
on, I
crazy.
believe, Hiroshima.
That's crazy.
So
yeah.
it's like
I mean,
I kind of tend to think that what happened back then was pretty real, especially with the fact of it ended World War II.
yeah.
And we had to literally drop the sun on Japan twice.
I mean, that is what they did. If we're gonna go with that, and I think we can develop things that are insane, and I'm not opposed to it. Although I've talked to like Owen Benjamin about this stuff, and he's very critical of it all, and he'll show you the old testing footage, and it's weird. There's some weird things going on for sure, but I'm also like we were just talking the other day about particle accelerators and all that stuff. So anything's possible. But like you,
I don't doubt that we have weapons that are, like the last caller said, 20 years in advance of what they're really telling us that we have.
yeah. I mean, listen to this
I
comment,
don't doubt
Mr.
that.
President. Like Billenberg 5942 says, what would end World War III then? I mean, things to consider. Antimatter
What would
bombs.
end World War III? Well, I think that would be all the nuclear bombs going off and
Everyone's dead.
humanity being wiped off the fucking earth.
Yep.
Yeah, it's terrible. And like we were just talking the other day when we were doing talking about Oppenheimer, you can put 5 nuclear warheads on these missiles and then just drop them, here and there, not all together. So it's a ton of fast destruction really quick. I saw someone else. I'm sorry I missed who said it, but they said AI is the atom bomb now. I agree. Everyone's saying AI now. I totally think that's it.
I know we talked about internet dead theory and stuff, and people
Yep.
believing everything they see, and sometimes, like a lot of the times, they post this shit up on Facebook and other social media, people just fucking believe it.
I know. It's horrible.
And I'm like, use that brain that God gave you, and just you guys got to learn to decipher this shit.
Yeah. I also wonder how people, like everyone's saying AI, but I wonder how everyone's seeing that actually come to fruition. Is it AI Skynet? Is it AI creating some false scenario that freaks other countries out, our own country? Is it AI just destroying everyone's brains? And then
what's that movie that it was in like the 80s, and it was showing some fake battle shit on like radar or something, like fake missiles coming in or something.
I'm not sure. I bet the chat knows.
I'm pretty sure somebody in the chat.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, I remember. I grew up under a rock. I only know like 10 things.
I think you know more than that.
Thank you,
You
Mr.
know more than
President.
what you give yourself credit for.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's so nice of you.
Speaking
You
of,
got a nice show you guys put on, and you guys talk about a lot of different issues.
Speaking of knowing, do you have any idea if it was a drone or a plane above you in Tokyo?
Great question.
I have no idea. They won't. They don't even want to tell me what the fuck it was, and there's supposed to be special access permissions for that kind of shit whenever I'm around anywhere.
That's ridiculous.
Aircraft is not allowed to be around when I'm in a certain place because I'm the president. I'm the sitting president.
Unbelievable. I think you should know this stuff. Like, I want to know, Mr. President, about the drones from last December. I want to know more about Butler. I know you said you're okay with the stories you've heard about Butler. The conclusion to their.
I'm really not okay with the stories from Butler. They're bullshitting me. The media's putting out bullshit about it,
That's
and
what I'm talking about.
and it's pretty sick.
It's crazy, and I wish we knew more. And I don't think we're getting that full story. And the whole thing with Thomas Matthews Crooks.
So when I was flying out to Milwaukee as a delegate,
Mm-hmm.
I was on a plane that day, and I was flying from Harrisburg out to Detroit.
Yep.
And a couple sitting next to me from San Francisco, and I was sitting up in the front of first class. This
Nice,
couple
Mr.
sitting next to me, they saw me with my MAGA hat, my mugshot Trump shirt, and they had pulled up their phone. They had two pictures on their phone, one of Trump behind the podium covered in blood, and the other one of Trump going, fight, fight, fight. And I'm looking at these pictures, I'm like, okay, what the fuck just happened to our country? So we land, like 10 minutes later. I grab my phone, I grab my bag, I get off the plane, and I turn my phone off of plane mode, and my phone starts going off. Like 30 people, I shit you not, 30 people from back home, from back here in Pennsylvania, called me up. I'm getting calls, texts, you name it. From the time I got off the plane till I got across Detroit Airport, and if you ever been to Detroit at their fucking airport, it's humongous.
Yeah, I have been.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yep.
The big airport. And I'm telling you, like from the time I got off the plane to the time I got to my next flight, 30 people called me.
Saying,
Like,
dude, it was insane. It was totally insane.
Like people calling me, hey, are you a Butler? Are you okay? Do you know what happened? Do you know Trump was shot? Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And every TV in the entire fucking airport has the news on with, oh yeah, Trump was shot.
Yeah, I was in New York and surrounded by
people at that
people.
fucking airport were shocked. I had some beautiful lady walk up to me, and she told me wearing a MAGA hat, and she's like bawling her eyes out.
Yeah, I saw people upset that he wasn't actually assassinated. Like for real, insane people in New York. People I knew, couldn't believe it.
Oh,
In
yeah.
real time.
Chicago too.
That's the sick of the Charlie Kirk thing.
Yep, exactly. Well, did you have anything else you want to add? I'd like to get to one more caller before the end of the night, Mr. President.
We have to win next week. Tuesday, you cannot sit out this election next Tuesday, especially if you live in Pennsylvania, or if you live in New Jersey or Virginia, or any of these states where these big elections are happening. We need to win these elections, folks.
Amen.
Republicans who sit home and don't get involved, elect Democrats, okay? You got to get off your ass and go vote. You got to do it. You got to do it. We got to swamp them. Swamp them with the mail-ins. Swamp them at the polls. we gotta win. We gotta show up in force, and we gotta win big league. Believe me, we gotta win where it's too big to rig. Okay.
Sounds good, Mr. President. Thank you for calling in.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's always great talking to you guys. You guys have a great show.
You too, man.
I want to
Thank
get
you.
on Timcast sometime. That'd be pretty cool.
You try to call in Discord, the after show.
Yeah.
I'm not a member yet, but I'm going to work on trying to get my membership and stuff for that.
Yeah, maybe, or you can show up to a live event one day as Trump.
I live probably about 2 hours from you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, we end up doing them in DC a lot, so it'd be a little bit of a trek for you from Penn.
Yeah.
But
At some point, we'll have to get you
I'm
on.
like East Harrisburg, so
okay.
and I know there's one guy that goes on there, that young Marine guy, that's on there every once in a while. He used to be like the biggest fan, Stanley Jr. or something.
Yeah, Raymond. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Well, at some point, it'd be fun to
From
hear.
Harrisburg.
It'd be fun to hear Trump on IRL. But till next time, man.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Steven.
You as well. Take care.
Let's go for one more caller, dude. And I'm going to read this comment from Zen Wolf Bear. Stuck on yesterday's conspiracies. We're going to forget tomorrow's travesties. Interesting. And I think some truth. We got to think about what's happening next. You know, I think history does rhyme, as was it Twain that said that? But we have to think about what's next. Unfortunately, a lot of it we can't think of. But we're talking about the atom bomb, we're talking about the Manhattan Project, and a lot of these guys who are building a lot of this crazy tech today do openly consider themselves the Manhattan Project 2.0. That's, you can look up Alex Karp from Palantir saying that. So that is how they see themselves. They see themselves as building some type of new destruction. You know, the code name for what was the code name for the atom bomb? Gadget, was that it?
For which one?
For the Manhattan Project, it was Gadget, right? They called it Gadget, the bomb. I think that's what they called it. So who knows what kind of gadget they're building now?
I can't remember what the term they use.
Yeah, I think that's
It's like device or something. Yeah.
I think it was Gadget. Who do we got next?
We are going to go to our final caller of the night. We want to thank everybody real quick for hanging out, watching the show, and calling in. Thank you guys so much. Let's get to CMOS to close out the night.
All right. I saw CMOS in the chat. Let's do it.
CMOS, if you can unmute, you're on the show.
Josh Egan says, go Gadget foot phone. Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Can you hear us?
Hello.
I did not expect to actually get in tonight.
You are here. What's up?
So you hear me? I'm not muted.
Yeah, we can hear you. Everything's
Yeah, you're good now. You might just need to mute the show in the background if you're still listening to it.
Oh, yeah, I still had it on in another window. I did say I would call in and bitch about fellow cyclists.
Oh, okay.
That's right. CMOS.
Fantastic.
Yes. I'm sorry for what's going to happen to you all when I'm president.
No, it's oh man, I'm getting a ton of feedback on here.
Are you on a cycle right now?
God, I wish I would.
Is it a delay or is it just like horrible actual feedback?
It's a delay. I'm getting a whole lot of echo.
Do you have the show on in the background, or are you listening to Zoom audio?
No, I'm on Zoom audio.
Interesting. Oh, we're not getting any lag from you here.
Yeah. If you want to, if you can hear me right now,
Yeah, cool.
the
I'll just
floor.
go for it.
Yep, the floor is yours.
I've cycled a lot. I've done a couple big tours. I've ridden across most of the U.S., all the way across Canada once. And what drives me up the wall is cyclists that just don't follow traffic laws. Stop signs don't mean anything, and it drives me crazy.
What do we do about them?
Billboards, I don't know. It's hard to say what to even do with people that don't want to follow the laws on this stuff. But anyways, that's not what this show's about. Portland, overall, not just cyclists.
A haunted house. Yep.
Man, it is hard for me to concentrate with all this like cycling back around. I don't know how to stop it. I hear myself talking about 5 seconds ago, and then you guys talking 10 seconds later.
Yeah, this happens every now and then. I don't know. It's
His audio shouldn't be feeding back for himself through Zoom, though.
yeah. I'm not sure.
That's a setting
If it's
somewhere.
too bad and you can hear us right now, we can try again tomorrow. We'll be back and we'll do it again. This happens from time to time with certain people.
Yeah, you know what? We'll try again tomorrow. And what I would rather talk about that's more show relevant is the weird, like, demonic sigils that I see painted around Portland, just in like graffiti. Like, there's just graffiti of it everywhere.
Definitely.
So that might be a fun topic to hit when I call back.
Awesome. Yeah, we look forward to it, man. And you're one of the good cyclists, it sounds like. I will remember you.
Doing my best.
Awesome, man. Have a good night.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
One of the good ones. Should we, speaking of the cyclists of the world, talk about Canadians? We got
That's up
5
to you.
minutes left. Yeah. We didn't do that article. We might as well get it out of the way. I love Canadians. I'm sorry. I can't help it. They're great. But Canada is just insane. It's Trudeau, and now he's dating Katy Perry. Like, what kind of weird elite
What?
Yeah.
Is that actual news?
That is real news, yeah.
Trudeau
Yes.
dating Katy Perry.
Yes. Real life.
We have definitely reached the end times.
It does feel like that. It does feel like that. Well, look at this. New research reveals that almost half of Canadians believe in the paranormal, ghosts and all. What would you say if you were told that paranormal activity exists? Come on, I hate these questions at the beginning of these paragraphs. Well, nearly half of Canadians would agree. What is the paranormal exactly? It refers to phenomena. I'm not even going to read that. You guys know what that is. In Canada, psychic abilities in Bigfoot or Sasquatch are considered paranormal, while angels and demons are associated with religion. In the summer of 2025, we, as in the conservation.com, I guess, launched I'm sorry, my eyes just broke and I totally lost my place in this. And here we are. We launched a survey of Canadian attitudes regarding paranormal beliefs in which participation was confidential. And for the first time in decades, we have nationally representative data on paranormal beliefs and encounters in Canada. And you know, Dan Aykroyd, being from Canada, he was like obsessed with this stuff. That's why we got Ghostbusters. And shout out to the Ghostbusters.
He used to hang out at House of Blues in Chicago, and he had his own little VIP bar that he used to hang out in.
With his skull, drink with his skull vodka.
Is that his?
Yeah.
I still have yet to get one of those.
Yeah. I had it back in the day. It was pretty delicious.
It's like one random thing that, like, I think my mom even has one of those sitting on a shelf somewhere. I'm like, how do you have one of those and I don't?
They do look cool. Although news outlets regularly publish stories about paranormal beliefs on Halloween, the results they discuss are usually based on convenience samples. Ours is the first study in 20 years to use randomly selected people from the Canadian population to ask these questions, meaning the results are representative. And it turns out that almost 1 in 2 Canadians believe in at least one paranormal phenomenon, and 1/4 report encounters with spirits. We asked about ghostly hauntings, alien visitations. You guys know the whole list. It's everything we always talk about. And they also talk about a lot of folklore from the Indians. They call them First Nations in Canada. Canada is one of the world's most secular societies. You think? Here, religion has little impact on the way people act or view the world. Great Canadian paragraph right there. Doesn't that sum it up? How Canadians think about the paranormal, however, has been mostly unknown. It's expensive to gather representative data in Canada, and few social scientists think it's important to study belief in the paranormal. The combination of these two factors has meant Canadian paranormal beliefs have gone unexamined for decades. What we found is that Canadians have embraced the paranormal to a point. Almost half, 44%, believe in at least one paranormal phenomenon. About 1/3 did not report belief in any paranormal phenomenon, but did indicate neutrality about at least one. For example, several respondents did not believe in ghosts, but they do think Trudeau is a ghoul. That's not in this article, sorry. But we're on the fence about extraterrestrial visitations. There we have a graph. See that wonderful graph? It's the best graph.
Ghoul. That's a good word. Ghoul.
Dude, he is a ghoul. Only about 1/4 said they did not believe in any of the 10 phenomena we asked about. And they asked about cryptids and aliens and all that stuff. The percentage of firm non-believers is similar to the 28% per figure in the United States and the United Kingdom, belief varied by specific phenomenon. People were most likely to believe in ghostly hauntings. Patterns of belief vary somewhat by demographic group. Women are more likely than men to believe in ghosts and psychics, reflecting how women have a higher probability of being open to phenomena with a spiritual dimension. People with bachelor's degrees are less likely to believe in most paranormal phenomena. There are few racial or ethnic differences. Interestingly, people aged 19 to 29 are less likely to believe in many paranormal phenomena than those aged 30 to 44 or 45 to 64. These findings suggest that young Canadians tend to opt out of any non-scientific belief system, whether religious or paranormal. And we'll leave it there.
They really tiptoed around the
Racial?
Around everything there.
Yeah.
Not even just racial, like even in regards to just
Gender.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had to be real careful with that.
And I know it's not all Canadians, guys. I know, like it's like when I think about New York, the city just destroys that state. And I love the city, honestly, but it's been destroyed by insanity. And people, like when I moved to West Virginia, everyone immediately saw that I was from New York, and they forget that there's like other places outside of the city. And it's not all Canadians. But I was just that this is interesting. Did you see something where
I'm just looking at the columns here. We've got ghostly hauntings, alien visitation, sea creature off BC coast, giant wolves, Ogopogo, Wendigos, Bigfoot Sasquatch, physics, telekinesis, and astrology. Physics and astrology are on the list.
I like that. I like that. Wait, does it say neither agree nor disagree? Okay.
Yes.
That's amazing.
The dark purple represents strongly agree, and the lighter shade of purple represents somewhat agree.
The sea creature off BC coast is that is some of those stories date back to like the Indians who were up there back in the day, and there's these crazy stories about this like sea witch that they would see beneath the water, but a lot of people believe that the parents were telling the kids those stories to keep them from drowning, because a lot of people drowning.
Stay out of the water.
Yeah. Well, that's fascinating stuff, and I imagine that there's a lot more ghosts in Canada ever since the MAID program took off, and you can just sign up to have the country kill you for assisted suicide if you even have a headache. And
oh shit! It's psychics, not physics. Thank you. Final 6 warning. That's my stupid eyes
We
hard
both
at
can't
work
read.
again. No, I was like, why the hell is physics on this list? I'm a dumbass. It's time to go.
Amazing. Well, guys, I'm seeing if I missed anything here. No, I mean, I could just spend all night reading all these chats. You guys crack me up. We appreciate it. I saw physics too.
Yeah,
that's funny.
it's time to go. That's what that is. That was like Shane getting the date wrong yesterday, and I didn't even notice it because I was so focused on getting things together and like getting the show rolling. And then we get a text from Alex this morning. She's like, "Oh, by the way, Shane, you got the date wrong yesterday." And he's like, Shane's reply was just 3 laughy faces, and he just said it was bound to happen sometime.
I have 3 children, and we don't sleep a lot. I get home at like 1:30. I go to sleep around 2, and then I'm up by like 6.
This is why you guys are invaluable to the show, and we need you.
Seriously.
So thank you for being here and correcting our dumbasses before we lose our minds and eyesight entirely.
Any day now. It's bound to happen. Brandon, let them know where they can find you.
As usual, you can find me at Brando Thinks It Was Physics, Not Psychics. Sorry, it's Brando Inverted on X and on Insta. Thank you again to all of our callers, everybody hanging out in chat, watching the show on Rumble and YouTube. We appreciate you guys. Don't forget to tune in later today for our Halloween extravaganza. It's going to be a 3-hour show. We're going to have some guests. We're going to take your calls. We're going to talk about all things stupid. I might even dress like a vampire. We'll see. Yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, share the show on your way out the door. We appreciate you being here. Don't forget to stay weird. We'll see you tonight. Shane, get us out of here.
Can't wait for the show later tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to talk to Drea and Sam. Those two are great. A lot of fun stories. We'll get into it. And can't wait to hear from you guys. We'll try to keep the stories to a shorter minimum. If we have a lot of people in the room, I want to get to as many people as possible for Halloween. And we'll see where it goes. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Total pleasure. Thank you for making me laugh in the chat, as always. Thank you for the callers. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Till then.